So we've heard from our cosmologist, and we've heard from someone who's exploring astrobiology in its various forms, and we've heard from a philosopher of science. And this research has been undertaken in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And what I hope to bring in this next little part is another way of knowing, another way of being, mātauranga Māori, which spans knowledge, it spans culture, it spans Māori values, and it spans a Māori worldview. And although it's a body of knowledge that was developed independent from other knowledge systems and has, for a large part, been ignored or disregarded by some communities because it's seen kind of myth and legend, quite fantastic and implausible explanations for things. Mātauranga Māori includes knowledge that has actually been generated using techniques consistent with the scientific method, but they've been explained according to a Māori worldview. And so one of the central principles and foundational ideas in Mātauranga Māori is whakapapa. Many of you will have heard this word, and its simplest translation into English is genealogy. So people understand whakapapa as being a lineage, grandparents, parents, children. But it's actually much deeper and much more nuanced than that. It demonstrates an interconnectivity between everything. And as a cognitive genealogical framework connecting the creation of the universe to everything that exists within it via descent from ancestors. So Io, in this whakapapa of genealogy, always existed, and nothing existed before Io. For Io alone was pre-existent as Io matua kore, the parentless, Io matua, the first parent, as Io mau, the precursor, Io pukenga, the first cause, take, the foundation of all things. And so we pass through this whakapapa before passing to te kore, the first state of existence in the realm of non-being and being, the realm of potential being and in the infinite realm. And this idea that nothing was created from nothingness. In the state of te kore, there existed the endless potential for being, but there was no organised form. And then from te kore, all things were developed or created. Then we move to te pō, a dimensionless and timeless space. So hopefully beginning to get a feel for some of these ideas that have been mentioned already are captured in this Mātauranga Māori, in this whakapapa. From te pō we pass to te ao, translated into as the world, before finally te ao Mārama, the world of light and knowing, in which we emerge. From there we have rangi and papa. And it is from one of their children, Tāne Mahuta, that humans descend. And because everything else that we see and experience that is unseen descends from rangi and papa that themselves descend from Io, everything is interconnected. So I'm going to pull up a few of the themes that have been brought up earlier. This idea of this string theory might work, might not, but the idea that everything is interconnected is captured in this idea of whakapapa. And so, because everything is interconnected, and because the concept of life flows through that, we also come to the other question that's been asked: what is life anyway? Well, perhaps one answer to that is the absence of life, or when something dies, is when its modi, or part of its modi, passes out of it. So perhaps an answer to that question is modi is a partial answer to what is life. However, modi is also found in inanimate objects. So what we can bring is an understanding and an explanation for the things we see, but drawing it from a Māori worldview. Now, the critical thing about a worldview is that it sets out boundaries for what you believe to be real, for what you believe to be possible, for what you believe to be impossible. So in a Māori worldview, an idea of a taniwha, a water being, that exists within a river or a lake or an ocean is real. It's an explanation for phenomena. It's an explanation for things that occur, explained in a way that made sense. It was real, according to a Māori worldview. I'm not asking all of you to believe that it's real. The question that we hope to raise, and the awareness and consciousness we hope to raise in Te Ao Mārama, is that it was believed to be real. And what that makes us aware of is that all of us have a worldview. All of us in our minds have an idea about what is possible and what is impossible. And if we can be aware of that, that opens up the possibility that someone else will have one that might be slightly different to ours. And that's the excitement for me. That's the, what am I not seeing because I've been trained to see and think in a certain way. And because these ideas of reality and truth and life, they're all socially, culturally constructed. And I think that's one aspect of it that I would really like to explore in Te Ao Mārama is, what is that? What am I not seeing because I've been trained to see and think in a certain way? Mātauranga Māori draws a rich basket or baskets of knowledge. But it's not just the knowledge, it's the way which the knowledge was generated. It's the way in which the knowledge was transmitted and passed down through generation to generation. It was the way in which the knowledge was tested continuously. And in some ways, although I'm on the stage talking about Mātauranga Māori and what it does, we have in our audience today, as part of this launch, people who practice it, who hold that knowledge. And we hope that by these interactions and conversations that we can all have an awareness of different ways of being and knowing, that we might see things that neither body of knowledge would see in isolation. It's only through bringing them together that we can see newly. And an example I'll give is that Māori were keen observers of everything, including the skies, and developed a detailed knowledge of the stars, the planets, the comets, the sun and their various movements. And in fact, although you won't have known it at the time, when Tor stood up this morning and gave my wāta tautoko, he gave a whakapapa of those stars and of those planets. And that's an example of the knowledge we bring. And so, in some ways we can say, hey, Mātauranga Māori has answered some of these questions. So let's try and put that up alongside why we're still challenged by them, and then seek ways, how did we come to that answer? How do we come to, yes, this is the answer of what is life anyway, Mauri. But Mauri is also found in inanimate objects. Another aspect that we would like to bring to Te Ao Mārama is to explore things in a tika way. Tika is, it's very difficult trying to translate any other language into another language using one word, but tika could be right or just. There's probably two ways of thinking about it. And the practice and the process of trying to do the right thing is called tikanga. So that's another approach that we'd like to bring into Te Ao Mārama, is to do things the right way and be conscious and intentional in the way in which we do things. So at that point, I'm going to hand it back. We're going to do this at the end. So, I would like to, that's nice. I'd like to invite Ririata, our kaumātua for the day, and Brad for a kawanga ceremony. And to give some context, a kawanga ceremony was traditionally done when a whare or a house or maybe a church, or even in contemporary times when waka are built and launched or when books are launched. And we felt it fitting that we're doing this in Aotearoa, New Zealand, that we have the opportunity to draw from not only the knowledge, but the cultural practices that run with it. So, anō reire te matua, te kaumatua, e Brad? Tautoko, ka pai.
So do I need a mic or do I talk loud?
Maybe let's get a mic.
I was just thinking that while the Brad's coming up, that Mātauranga Māori can answer some of the questions that have been raised, like what do you say when you meet an alien? You say, kia ora bro, welcome to Aotearoa. I was asked during the... first of all, who am I? A lot of people wouldn't know who I am. I represent and belong to an organisation called the Society of Māori Astronomy, Research and Traditions, chaired by Dr. Pauline Harris, who is one of these crazy people that look out in the universe searching for exoplanets and all those sorts of things. But at the moment, we have a waka over at Waiheke Island in that Curious Minds program. We've been on it for like 4 weeks now. Tomorrow I sail on our other ocean-going waka, who were the spacecraft of their generation, the granddaddies of our America's Cup, and who brought the knowledge of star navigation down here with us, and our understanding of our Māori understanding of how the universe works. Anyway, that's basically who I am, and I'm here with other members of Society of Māori Astronomy, real clever fellows. One fellow was calculating the speed when you were giving your talk, the speed at which the universe accelerates. He puts this formula down, calculates it. Nutty people. So I'm part of that group too. Anyway, I was asked there over morning tea to do a krakia, and one of the things that's missing a lot from science is that they don't do krakia. So people think krakia is a religion. But it's actually, when we went out on those ocean-going waka, before we actually set foot on the ocean, we had to do what we call I'm not too sure how to translate krakia into English. People call them prayers, but it doesn't work because those were the missionaries that gave it that name. But it was a way of preparing a crew to go out into the unknown, okay? So that's where you're traveling. Okay, so you're already on your space waka, eh? So you're going to travel out into the unknown, into the marvellous universe, and I hope you find a way way out in the what we call te patu o te rangi, the extremities of the universe, to find how I can grow bigger and sweeter kumara. So that's what I'm interested in. Okay. But this krakia was a launch. You did this krakia with the crew, so I might stop and start as we go through. I mean, because I've had about 20, be about 40 minutes. So that's long enough to compose a krakia. Okay, and so the first one is about going into unknown places. Okay, very important for us because our basic philosophy around the stuff that science does is that tuia ki te rangi, tuia ki te moana, tuia ki te whenua, tuia ki te rangi, tuia ki te whenua, tuia ki te moana, e rongo te pō, e rongo te ao. And what that talks about is that everything is connected. What's up in the heavens, what's on earth, and what's in the oceans are connected. But the balance is what's missing in a lot of our work, and that's where te rongo te pō, e rongo te ao comes in. Because the pō represents a female kind of element, yeah, and then the te ao represents the male one. And what our tūpuna always told us, whenever you go into the unknown, make sure you balance, you go with balance. So my message to science is that keep it in balance, because you never know what you're going into. And this is what these kaki are for. And the second one is, when you go on new journeys, you need to be strong and united and together, because you're going to get challenged, right? And you've got to know how to face those challenges and be strong and resilient in what you believe in. It's not how well you believe Oki, how well you believe someone else, another scientist, but it's actually how well you believe in your own philosophy and your own particular journey. Okay, does that make sense? And then we're going to do a krakia, which will be the launch. And it's like the launching of a waka. And we've got lots and lots of those krakia. And what I'll do is I'll try and capture the area that we're in. So not many of you might know the names of Rimutahi. Is that probably at the corner of Ponsonby Road, Kaipa Pass, where is it a mobile garage there? That used to be Rimutahi. It was a gathering place of all the journey. When people journeyed, they got there, and then they went on their journeys. So that's Rimutahi. The other one is Tunamo, which is the valley that runs down there and down to we now call Victoria Park, which used to be called Te Kokota, the Waikokota. And that used to be the gathering place of food at the Waikokota. And then we come across to Te Waiohorotiu, which is the Queen Street. I think the way is still under Queen Street. Hey? And then we come up over the hill here, down to just over the hill there where, it starts from up the top here actually, the Puna, and it's Waiparuru, which flows below the business school. Okay, and across that water is overlooking it is a place called Pukekawa. So we're capturing, what we're doing in the kraki is capturing that whole area that the school's going to be in. And then at the end is to ask for the journey to be pleasant and quiet. It's never going to be quiet, but we hope it's going to be pleasant, yeah. And it's to ask to settle the winds. It was so if you were heading into a storm, this krakia they used for calming the winds and settling the winds. So even if you don't understand the reo, that's where we're going to be. Okay? Ka pai? Anō rere rā, e tuia rā ki te rangi, e tuia ki te whenua, e tuia ki te moana, e rongo te pō, e rongo te ao. Ka ati ko te arahau rā tēnei ka toko tunu mai te rangi, te mana o te rangi e tūnei, kia toka kia mahaki mārire ki tēnei whānau nei e. Pekitia te patua te rangi e te huana koe ko te whiwhinga ko te rawenga, toka ānunu, toka hea rino hea, tohu iwi maire, tohu e kore tāia te titiro. He ko te ku te manu e kore rawe te ko i raira, he kura taka i puna te manu i tūria, pātiki a pōne taunga hea ke waihoana, hei tohu taua nei e. He ngaro nei ki roto i te mati kuku ko tēnei ahau te tupua te tēnei hoi te pau o te whare. Whakatau hiki tia tō tapu wai tua nei wahorame he ka ahui manu. Te rāgau a whakatau he mumu hau he āwhātai penei tai wheneke whenaua oi. Ia tō ia mai rā te kaupapa o te ao Mārama ke tāpo hutu mai ki te moana mā wai rā e tō. Ko te moana o te wai te mata, te wai nui o peretu, ko tīkapa moana, ko te moana nui ātua. Kia tiritiria, kia paupaua, kia papa tuanuku, kia tuku nā te hoki tēnei kaupapa kia rere pēnei me ngā waka ka tāpa hutu mai nei ki te moana. Nō reira rai mi ngoi rā e tāne, rangahau e tāne, ko e tāne. E turu ana haere mai ana i te wai o te Hikuroa Mārama. Ka re kua e tōkia mai ana te ko muri haurarunga mai o waihihi, o waihaha. E reira te hiringa o tainui mai eke. Patua te kuru, patua te āwha, patua nuku tai haruru. Tūua ke hoki a hau ki te whare huka tangaroa. Ko tangaroa i whatia ia nuku tau māroro. Tēnei hoki a hau ko hine tūahonga ki mi ana hau ana i arata. Ko rata i maka ki te wai o piko i whiti. Mā te ki maungaro, mā te ka maranga mai ai e ko whiti nuku e te tatau wārangi. Nā reira ki rongo mai rā koe hauruhi, ngenge, hau e tuki, hau e pū mai nā. Whanātu au ka piki i a koe nā, whanātu au ka raka i a koe nā. Koe ana whiwhinga, koe ana rawenga, koe ana puriti ia, koe ana tāwhi ia, koe ana whakarotua. Rotua te wai kia rotua te moana kia rotua. Pekitia te moana te nui o te tārawatai. Tuku atu au kia rere āmanu e tū. Tū ki runga, tū ki raro, tū ki whea, tū ka hakaputaina ki te whaiao, ki te ao Mārama. Tihe mauri ora. Kia ora tātou. Not bad for a 20-minute composition, eh?
Tēnā koe rere ata.